Hey guys, I just finished shoveling and we're back at the cabin, and it's not too bad out tonight. We'll check the thermometer here in a second, but we haven't had the snow that we had last year so far. It's supposed to get brutally cold here in the next month or so, but up until now it's been really quite mild compared to last year, and not a whole lot of snow. Had a few dumps, but nothing major. The plan is I'm going to heat this cabin up with the wood burning stove, and tonight I'm going to leave the air intake or the makeup air hooked up to the stove, and then I'm going to do it again next week. I gotta leave it a few days for the cabin to cool down, and we're supposed to have pretty much the same weather over the next week. So we'll let the cabin cool down. We'll get out here and do it again with the makeup air off that wood stove, and we'll see the difference, if there is any difference, and how fast this place heats up in the same conditions with and without the cold air intake or air intake. I don't know, I call it all kinds of stuff, but I guess it's called makeup air. Anyway, we're gonna go check the temps right now and we'll see where we're at. I don't know if you can see that. I bought a couple of these cheesy little thermometers today. So I got one here, and it looks like it's around minus 10-ish, maybe a little bit more, and that's Celsius. And then we'll go inside here, and I got another one sitting in here for a couple hours now. And there it is. So this is going to be the point. I'm going to leave it here. This is where this guy will sit for both tests. I'm not going to stick it in the far corners. This is it. It's about the middle of the cabin-ish. And right now it's reading around, I don't know, minus 8-ish. That's the inside cabin temps. The cabin size is 21 by 20 inside diameter, and there's a little stove, a little soapstone hearthstone stove. And I stacked up the wood earlier today, you saw that. And that's the cabin. There's a loft up top there if you haven't seen it before. And it is pitch black out. It's about, I don't know what time it is right now. It is 10 to 6 p.m. It gets dark here about 4 o'clock. Sunset's 4:30. So yeah, short days for sure. But there's the intake. So we'll leave that on. And like I say, next week, I'm gonna let this place, after today, I'm gonna let it thaw or cool down for 3 days or so, and when the temperature's right, as it is today, the same temps, I'm gonna do it again, and we'll see how this guy heats up without using that intake hooked up to the bottom of the stove. Anyway, I'm gonna change cameras here, and we'll get this thing going. I'm gonna set the timer, or I'll look at my watch anyway, and we'll see how long it takes. I'm not gonna make this guy up to 20°C. I'm not gonna crank the heat up here. I want to get it from whatever it is now, minus 8-ish, up to plus 5°C, and that's warm enough for me. I don't know if it's going to be warm enough for you guys in Arizona or Florida, but I'm going to do plus 5, and then we'll do it again in about 2 or 3 days. So you know it's cold in the cabin. This is from earlier today, when the snow doesn't melt on the floor. That's kind of a good sign. Anyway, we'll get this thing going here. So the time, or the date is, it's December 10th. And I'm going to upload this tonight, so you'll see it on December 11th. And then, like I say, probably Monday I'll do it again without using that intake. All right, stay tuned. Okay, guys, the time is 4 minutes to 6 p.m., December 10th. And we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to try and make this as quick as I can. I don't want to bore you guys, but I'm just going to light up this fire and we'll set the, we'll see what time it is when I light it, and then we'll see how long this takes. And I'm also going to count how many, pieces of wood it's going to take to get it up to that temperature, just in case you're interested. So I've got 5 logs in there. I got 2 kind of medium ones on the bottom and 3 smaller ones up top there, and some kindling. And let's get this thing going. So this is part 1. I'm going to do, like I said, part 2 in a couple days here once this cabin gets back down to temperature, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, she's going pretty good, and it is 6 o'clock, so I'm going to shut this down for a second because it's going to get real boring, and we'll go from there. The fire's going beauty right now. You can see that's really pulling in there. The little fan on top of the stove hasn't kicked in yet, but it is only 10 after 6. There, the fan just kicked in now, and it's just about 12 after 6, so it doesn't take long to get those guys going. Alright, I'm going to put another log or 2 in there. So far, that's the original stuff we put in the stove. There's 5 in there and some kindling. Lots of heat coming off it now. There's number 6 right there. I don't know if you can see that, but every star is out. Totally clear, beautiful. And let's check the temps here. So what we got here, we have, looks like about a minus 12-ish or so. Yeah, minus 12-ish. And the time is, it's about an hour in to this little project. Let's take a look. Still snow on the ground, but man, I can really feel it. It's really warming up in here for sure. And let's take a look. And we still have our same logs. That was log number 6 in there. Of course, the fan up top is going beautifully, and it's pushing that heat around. And our temperature here, 1 hour later, is almost at 0 Celsius. So I don't think it'll take long now to get this going. Maybe another hour, but we'll see. Okay, I think we're probably about halfway through here. So it's a good time for, it takes a little bit for this soapstone to get hot, but it's cooking now. So I've got some, what do I got here? Cinnamon organic herbal tea. And I'm going to warm it up on the stove here. Figure it's about the right time. Whoops. And I'm going to let that steep for a little bit. And then once that's ready to go, I'm going to fix that all up with some of that stuff. That should take care of that herbal tea. I'm going to pop one more log in. I've got some stuff to do outside, and then I'll come back in a little bit and we'll check it out. So that is 7, number 7. Okay guys, let's do a temperature check. We are cruising around at about minus 15-ish or close to it. And the time is, it's almost 7:45. So let's go inside and take a look here. So minus 15-ish. And some of the snow is kind of starting to melt, it looks like. And let's see here. That's number 7 log still going. And That's hot. It's not boiling, but it's hot. Hot enough for that. And I'm going to stick another log in there for sure, and that should do it, I think. And on a side note, I've got this guy cranked wide open as far as the air coming into the stove. That's closed. That's fully open. I'm going to use the same settings, of course, when I do this in 2 or 3 days from now, just so we have a fair comparison. And I also have some insulation that I have to put on that air intake, but I haven't done that yet, and I won't do it until after this test. Let's take a look at our temperature here. We are at, wait a minute, can't see. We're about plus 1-ish. +1, and that's down low. I think up here where I'm standing, it's definitely warmer, obviously. Heat rises, but it's definitely it makes a difference for sure. So anyway, I'll stick one more log in this, and that should do it, and then I'll come back in here and monitor it, and I'll show you guys what we got. Okay, here we go, number 8. Hey guys, we're just over 2 hours into this, and I've got my 8th log in there. I'm gonna stuff another one in there. I gotta get this going here. I gotta rack this up. I'm gonna keep track of the pieces of wood I'm putting in here and the time I put them in, and I'm gonna duplicate this without that intake on it. And that should be on Monday, because we're only at +2-ish. So I'm gonna get this going. So I'm gonna stick another one in there, and that'll be number 9. Okay, number 9, and we're 2 hours into it, and I'll make sure to repeat this on Monday. I gotta get this guy cooking in here. Hey guys, it's 8:15. My tea is starting to bubble. Definitely not boiling, but it's hot. Fire's looking good. And what I've done is I moved the thermometer from this cold old cooler. This thing's still freezing cold, and it's going to hold the cold for a while. It's metal top. I probably should never put that thing there in the first place. So I'm going to leave it here, and I'll do the same on the next test on Monday. And it's about 2 degrees C here, so we got a couple more to go. But yeah, leaving it down there was a bad idea. Again, that thing's still freezing cold, and it will be for hours to come. So I think that's affecting this guy. So we'll leave it here. Okay guys, temp check. We're holding at about -15. It is 20 to 9. Let's see what we're doing inside. Okay, the snow on the floor is melted. That's always a good sign. Nothing there. It's really warm in here. You can really feel it. I don't need the clothes that I have on anymore, that's for sure. The tea is gone, and that the coals really, this stove is just cooking beautifully, but I'm going to throw another log on it because we still haven't reached our goal. We're about, I don't know if you can see that, about 2 degrees away from it, but we should be there shortly. All right, I'm going to throw one more log on. That will be number 10, and we'll go from there. Okay, number 10. Here we go. It won't be the last log tonight, but I'm sure it'll be the last log to get it up to 5C. Okay guys, it's 10 after 9 p.m., December 10th, and we've nailed it. So we've got our temperature at, where are we at here? 5C. Let's take note of that. And yeah, we did it. So we could have done that a couple ways. We could have done it differently for sure. You might do it differently, but I wanted to keep it consistent. I want to duplicate this in a few days. The cabin's going to get down to temperature, and we'll do this again. Our temperatures outside, the weather's supposed to be pretty much the same over the next week, so I'll be able to come real close to what we have inside and outside, what we had tonight. So we'll test that out on Monday or Sunday-ish when the temperature's right, and I will disconnect that intake off the back of the stove, and we'll see if there's a big difference. I'm interested to find out, actually. Again, we've added 10 logs to this, or 10 pieces of wood, and I'll duplicate the same deal, the same size logs as best possible, and I'll do that in a couple days. It was fun, but it really feels toasty in here now, especially with that little bit of whiskey and that tea. But really, it's minus 15 or more outside right now. It's going to get colder. And when you walk into this cabin, you know, it's 20 degrees difference. It's pretty awesome. Obviously up there is warmer than down here. But yeah, huge difference. Very cozy in here right now. And I'm looking forward to this test. Anyway, thanks for watching part 1 of this 2-part thing on heating a log cabin with and without a makeup air, excuse me, a makeup air attached. Anyway, thanks for watching.